and welcome to Dustin's Kaleidoscope. I am Dustin, and I have the pleasure of being here today with 3 members of Sneakah Boutique, and we are here with Nailah, Ernest, and Whitney. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
So all 3 of you are part of Sneakah Boutique, and Nailah, I know that you are the founder.
Yes.
So first of all, can you tell us exactly what is Sneakah Boutique?
Sneakah Boutique is an e-commerce site that is dedicated to streetwear, retro wear, which is 80s, 90s retro wear, as well as skateboard attire. So we carry footwear, accessories, and clothing.
Okay. And Ernest, how are you? What is your role?
So I'm involved in the marketing of the company, as well as finance. I'm a part of some of the creative financing, planning and things like that. So I do more so on that end.
Okay. And Whitney, what do you do?
I serve as the creative director. I do a lot of the campaigns, the ad campaigns, lookbooks, inside exclusives on our media portal that we have as an added addition to the e-commerce platform, just for our customers to have an overall shopping experience from point to point.
So you all are obviously all part of Sneakah Boutique, but you were the founder? Did you start it first and then the 2 of you came in, or how did it start?
Well, yes, I came up with the idea. However, we all kind of went in together when the doors opened. I had an idea, an epiphany, actually riding home one day from the corporate job that I was at the time. And I hit up Whitney with it. I was like, you know what, I want to do a sneaker store. There's not too many sneaker stores that are ran by women. So I told her about the idea. And initially we were just going to do like a brick and mortar store. The e-commerce came later down the road. So she was like, oh, I'm game for that. That sounds like a great idea. And then, planning and going through it, a couple months went by. Then I actually hit up Ernest. I was no longer at the corporate job we were at. However, me and Ernest still kept in contact. Told him about the idea, and he was like, you know what, that sounds like a winner. And then we all got married.
So, okay, you said you initially started it as a sneaker store, but you carry, what do you carry? You carry more than sneakers, right?
It evolved. The streetwear culture kind of is just more than just sneakers. It's hats, it's sweatpants, T-shirts. So it kind of evolved, and the component of New York City is, constantly growing. So we kind of reached from New York, LA, Atlanta, and we kind of merged that into one system. So it started out as sneakers, and it was just going to be mainly sneakers. But now sneakers is about 20% of what we carry now.
Wow.
It kind of evolved into a full scope. So.
And how did that happen? How did it evolve? Like, maybe you all could also answer this as well.
Sure. Well, it's weird because people want a whole outfitting experience. They don't just want the footwear without the hat or the hat without the belt, And so that's kind of where I married the 2. And it was interesting because people started to kind of just contact us. Oh, we like what you do. We like how it looks. We like what you carry. I think this would be a good option. And we then started really investigating a little bit more different designers, how the streetwear culture is really an overall experience from head to toe. And so from socks to unique umbrellas, book bags, eyewear, it's all a part of that shopping experience that people really like to get. And I like the fact that we don't carry everything that you can go into the mall and buy.
Okay,
it's really exclusive, it's really modern, it has like a retro panache, but it's super funky. And, the twist, I think people from domestic and international have really been able to connect with that. So that really for us has been a hole-in-one.
And so maybe, Ernest, you can speak to this, because I'm thinking when you procure all of these things, they cost money. So what do you have to do as far as like keep the expenses so that you actually make money or go toward making money?
I would say the main thing is just learning how to budget. Right now we don't have any venture capitalists behind us. We're, self-funded. So, I guess the main thing is just paying close attention to the financing, what expenses are going to what, and just learning how to manage everything on a shoestring budget.
And so so for all of you, is your background in marketing, is your background in finance, and is your background in entrepreneurship, or how did you all get to this point where you have these 3 different areas of specialty?
Sure. Ernest, his background is in finance, so he has a pretty extensive history there. For me, fashion and fashion merchandising management more so. And Nailah, business and entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, she answered that for us.
So is this your first business that you started, or have you done?
No, I've dabbled in other things. I've failed at some things, did good at some things. Never got so far as Sneakah Boutique.
Okay.
So I've made mistakes. I've learned from them, and this was time coming. So this is going the way that it needs to go.
And your business is now about a year old at this point?
Yeah, we
Yep.
just celebrated 1 year.
a little
one
over a
year.
year now.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Thanks.
And so now that you've been in business a year, you must have you can look back and see some of the things that have worked and that have not worked. Like what are some of the lessons you have learned? Like each one, can you give me one thing that you've learned from this experience?
I've learned the definition of teamwork and perseverance. So,
I would say I've learned the definition of patience, that you're not going to go from, A to Z all at once.
You just took mine.
That's why I looked at you.
Yeah.
But yeah, patience.
So Neil, now you're gonna have to think of another one.
darn.
I've learned how to humble yourself, actually, because you're going to go through so many different obstacles, some good days, some really great days, and some days where you're like, I just want to throw in the towel, this is too hard. So you got to kind of humble yourself and remain meek in this game.
So how do you all do that? I mean, you've been in business now for a little bit over a year, and I'm sure there are days where you're just like, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to go back to the corporate environment. As a team, what do you have to do to keep going?
We have a lot of pep talks amongst ourselves, actually. There are days that when we're not in our physical location and one is doing something else, we have a chat that we have to pump each other up. Sometimes the conversations are really nice and comforting, and sometimes it's like, hey, we got to get on this. You need to get on the ball. Stop being depressed. Whatever you're going through, let's knock it off. So we just have to pump each other up, and we all equally have had those days where we wanted to throw in the towel. So we just try to be each other's support system.
Yep.
That's
and then
awesome.
faith also.
Faith is the number one.
And how have your families responded? I mean, what did they think about because you all were in corporate jobs before this?
Yep.
So what did they say when you said, hey, I'd like to do something entrepreneurial?
Well, for me, I've always been like a risk taker, so it doesn't shock them. They're just like, are you sure you want to leave that comfortable salary?
Oh.
So for me, that they're not shocked when I want to jump off the ledge.
Okay.
So that for me wasn't a shock.
No.
Yeah, I say my parents had similar reaction. It was more so, are you sure you want to do this? Because, I did come from a, comfortable corporate job. And whatever decision I made, they were, behind me 100%. So,
Okay.
supportive.
And
I
Whitney,
just
how about
think
you?
that my family has really admired the creative input in terms of knowing my strengths and being able to apply that. I don't necessarily know, in all honesty, if they have jumped on board 100% with the entrepreneurship component, but we are working them through it. And so, that's it.
I think we all can say that we have something to prove, too. So, yeah.
Well, because it comes from the heart.
Correct.
And so it's not that we have something to prove because you said no. It's a matter of, utilizing what your God-given talents are to be able to apply them to a massive audience and being able to touch that audience with your mission. I think that as three young professionals, we stand in a pretty good light to be able to segue into I would say the next generation coming out.
Okay.
To be able to show them that there's options out there and there's more ways to get to the green versus in just one that we're traditionally taught.
That's awesome, because I think you all will or are examples for people who are even, not just for the younger people, I would think for older people too, who are
Yeah.
thinking, you know what, maybe I can take that risk.
Absolutely.
Our hope is that we do touch, if one can get it, from something that we share, how we, display our example of perseverance and determination, and I think that's phenomenal.
And how have your customers responded to, you said everything from socks to
Yeah.
clothing, to
They're
other
dope.
types of clothing? How have they responded?
Our customers are pretty dope,
Yeah.
A word, right?
They love it.
It's
Yeah.
true. They are funky. They're not afraid to take risks. You know, they'll step outside the box even if they don't get it yet because they can kind of figure out how it's to be outfitted. They're like, you know what, I've never thought that on myself, but now that I see how it looks, I will try it. And so I think that that has been some pretty cute add-ons to our business. I like that. I like that.
Do you all have anything to add about your customers?
I like the diversity of our customers, how some can be from like Japan or Australia and Hawaii, and they're all like similar to each other through fashion. It's like so crazy how that draws people together, just like music is universal.
Right.
I think fashion is too.
So totally.
So,
I agree.
Yeah.
So totally.
And you mentioned that people see what they have on. So your business is a physical storefront and also online, or is it just online at this point? Or
We have a showroom still in New Jersey, but we have an e-commerce site, and we use a lot of social media. So we have Instagram, Pinterest, everything that everybody's using right now, and we outfit our outfits sometimes. So we'll lay them out, or we'll put them on a mannequin, and we give you a visual of how it will look, or even on another human too. So we give you a visual presentation beforehand of how something is going to look.
And so if people want to follow you on Instagram, what is your Instagram handle?
At Sneakah Boutique, and it's Sneakah, Sneakah Boutique. So it's not your traditional sneaker.
And Pinterest?
The same thing, at Sneakah Boutique.
Okay. We have about a minute, then we're going to come back.
Okay, cool.
But, and just one last thing, like what have you each learned about yourselves, before this past year? Just one thing.
I'm going to let you start.
Ernest.
Oh, way to throw it on me. I'm looking up, getting ready to think about it. That's a good question. What have I learned about myself? I would say this year has been rewarding as well as testing. So I would say I learned just to be mentally strong.
Okay. All right. That's
Yeah.
your one thing. And
Yeah.
we have 1 minute, so I'm going to ask you very quickly.
I'll
And
be
then,
quick, yeah. I've
Sorry.
learned that I still have a lot to learn. I thought I knew everything, but you definitely don't. So
Okay.
I've learned that I still have a lot to learn, even myself.
it's a good lesson.
Absolutely.
And for you, Whitney?
Sometimes the importance of sacrifice.
Okay. Great.
good.
All right. So we're going to be back in about 30 seconds. This is Dustin's Kaleidoscope. I'm Dustin, and we'll be right back.
Local government, local educational institutions, and local community members all use cable access TV to communicate their message. They depend upon it as an affordable means of outreach. Public educational and government access television empowers local government agencies, individuals, and groups to use the media to speak directly to their constituents in a more direct and cost-effective way. Make sure everyone has a voice. Support your local PEG channels.
Welcome back to Dustin's Kaleidoscope. I'm Dustin, and I'm here with 3 people from Sneakah Boutique. We have Whitney, Ernest, and of course Nailah, the founder. And we're going to talk a little bit about the actual apparel that you sell. And you have a few things here. So Whitney, could you show us the backpack?
Sure. So one of our vendors, we love Spray Ground. They create such creative pieces on the book bags, their designs. This one particularly was a collaboration that they did with a vendor called Cupcake Mafia out of Atlanta. And Nailah also has a Spray Ground book bag as well. They really do custom pieces for the season, and every time they come out, they just come out swinging with their new designs. So we're really looking forward to the holiday and their spring 2015 pieces. Isn't she cute?
That is, I like that. I like that little grill on the bottom and everything.
It's so dope for right now. So, yeah, these are some. And then we have the Gourmets, another one of our outstanding vendors. They have been doing lifestyle sneakers for some time now. And Ernest is wearing those. So lightweight, so comfortable, true to size. I mean, amazing for both men and women, and they're unisex. So.
And is it, I can't tell from here, is it like leather, suede?
Yeah,
or is
so it's like cork.
That's
okay,
what?
this is like, yeah, isn't that?
It's a cork.
It really is cork?
It
Or
so is. It's so the material, and then they have the suede on the outside.
That is cool.
And, you know, the laces, premium. They look cool. They feel great. You can wear them to, you know, out, or you can just kind of wear them as a lifestyle sneaker to work.
Wow, that's very cool.
Pretty
That's
funky.
very cool.
Um,
And you did a collaboration. The T-shirt is part of the collaboration you did with.
Yeah, so we're really proud of that. Our first collaboration we did in under a year with Cross Colors, a vendor that is known notoriously for the late 80s, early 90s. And we did our exclusive Be Dope capsule tee for back to school with them.
Awesome.
And again, unisex for both male and female. And we really highlighted our hashtag, which is Be Dope. That is really one thing that we live by every single day, and it allows us, same with the little matching pin. Shout outs to Keith
Very
Aaron
nice.
and the inspiration behind that. Really, bottom line for that is really just making sure that we project that we want all of our customers to be the best selves that they can be from within. Using fashion to just share that with the world, but really
Right.
being the best selves that they can be.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Nailah, I know that you are dressed head to toe with
I
some of
have,
the things that you sell.
Popular Demand, which is one of our vendors, actually from LA. I have on original Cross Colors as well. So, yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah.
So you have
And I have
everything.
Odd Future, actually, Odd Future socks on.
So you literally have everything from.
Oh, she lives it.
And I
She
have
eats
a
it.
Yo MTV Raps
Yeah.
Flood Watch.
You gotta
So
zoom in on that.
Actually,
Who remembers that
Still
show?
make
Who remembers Yo MTV Raps?
Yeah, that stuff.
Okay,
Oh,
when
that is
music
old
television was
school.
music television.
Exactly.
You understand?
That is so, that's
Yes.
funny. I love that. I love that.
Thank
So
you.
all of these items people can find online in your
Yes.
boutique.
Yeah.
Correct.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you know, we were talking a little bit about how your company is different in that you actually have people from all over. You have people from Japan, like internationally,
Yes.
who come in and buy your merchandise. However, you know, how did you go from the point where it was just you putting things out there and then actually being very successful with with the things that you actually put out there?
Well, it is a lot of trial. There is some trial and error behind that, and then there's also a lot of research. So what I do is I pay attention to music and what people are wearing in their videos and some of the popular shows to kind of get inspiration, because you can tell what's going on there. And then if you look outside at 3 o'clock, you can see what these kids are wearing as well.
Oh, okay.
So it's grassroots stuff. It's technology, watching the videos, because music is such an inspiration, and music and fashion collide. They're always together.
Right.
So it's a little bit of everything to kind of see what's going to work for us.
Okay. That's very cool. And so I know that you have some things that you are going to be doing in the future. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Ernest, why don't you tell them some more ideas and some things we got coming up.
All right. Well, one of the big ideas is that we're looking to branch out more as far as our headquarters are concerned. Want me to mention that?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
So I'm gonna give away
So-
too much. That's what that was. Okay.
So, as
Check
Nailah mentioned before, right now we do have a storefront that's located in New Jersey. We're looking to branch out into areas, for example, Atlanta. Eventually, LA, and just more international.
And is there a specific time for the rollout?
2015.
Okay.
So,
Early.
yeah.
Early 2015?
First quarter, hopefully.
Mad
Yeah.
early. It's like, no. Yeah, early. We definitely want to touch our international audience. We think that that's super important. And we really want to expand on the digital component of this business. That is what we're going to be doing. And we really want to be able to give our customers a full head-to-toe shopping experience that they can just, with the click of a button, kind of almost see themselves in the clothing before they decide to purchase.
And
So
we're working on a cool app as well.
we are really
cool.
getting that popping. Yeah. So that's.
So
gonna
what is
be
your
nice.
URL?
www.sneakahboutique.com, and that's spelled SNEAKAH boutique.com.
Okay. And Ernest, you mentioned the expansion. Are you all looking for venture capital as far as helping you fund, or is this all going to continue to be self-funded?
I mean, well, right now it's self-funded. I I can't imagine us turning away venture capital. So we're always looking for opportunities. So we're always, looking out for that.
Okay. And angel investors, any?
Yeah.
Okay, at any level. Okay. All right. So your strategy is to get into areas like Atlanta and then to Los Angeles. And so is it something that you want to do as far as have other people at those locations, or do you all plan to be at those locations, or is it, how do you?
That's a great question.
That is a good question.
I think that at each location, one of us will go there for a couple of months to make sure it's overseen properly, and then we probably hire like a regional director
Okay.
to handle like that coast. I think that the LA location would be more for like the media aspect for some of the things that we're doing with SBTV. And the Atlanta market would be great because we'll have access to like Miami, Charlotte, which are up and coming places in terms of fashion. Atlanta just celebrated, I think, their 3rd fashion week.
Yep.
So they're
Oh,
growing.
okay.
And then New York, it's the capital of everywhere. So it's always good to have an office here too.
So how is the fashion going to change from location to location if it does actually
I don't
change?
even really think it
Yeah,
changes that
no,
much.
not at all. The only thing that's going to change is the vibe, the environment. Everywhere you are, you're going to be influenced by something different. That's the beauty of living in different states.
And the streetwear culture is
Yeah.
like so universal right now. Like you'll see kids wearing the same stuff. Like, we were watching the hip hop awards and you have people that are from, LA or Atlanta,
walks
Texas
of
wearing the same kind of shirt now.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like so different anymore. It's like it's merged. It's crazy.
And how about your international clients? Do you see them wearing the same?
They're super
type-
trend conscious.
Yeah, they're
Really?
on a whole
more than
nother
us,
level.
I would think,
I
more
love
at
it.
more of an accelerated rate.
Yeah, the
Then
UK, the
we are.
Japan market is so much advanced.
Yeah.
So do you find some of the trends over there first coming here?
I don't know about first, but I would definitely say it's interchangeable. They go hand in hand just as much as we work with have domestic relationships is the same way that we are budding international relationships as well. So I think that sometimes they'll see something and they'll reach out to us as, hey,
Yeah.
this is something that maybe you guys might want to piggyback on. I just had someone email me from Turkey yesterday. Seriously.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I think that that's definitely a testament to what she was saying earlier in terms of fashion is a universal language. It really has no color, gender, and nowadays trends are pretty much going in whatever direction you want them to go.
And so does that mean that you all have to travel quite a bit abroad or at this point or
Not
are you
yet,
getting-
but we definitely foresee it.
Okay.
We'll be all over the place.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And-
He cannot wait for that
Hey,
part.
I like traveling.
So where do you all think you would travel first as far as like what place would be the
Well, I've
trend?
lived abroad, so I've lived abroad for almost 2 years, so I kind of know where the fashion market is going over there. But I think that I would definitely want to take them to Italy and France. They always say Paris is the fashion capital of the world. But you'll be so surprised at how Tokyo and Japan and Ireland, Australia, all places that have a heavy streetwear influence.
Yeah, that's
Culture,
true.
so
That is true.
Okay. Okay.
I want to go to Tokyo.
And so for people who don't know, I mean, most people would know what streetwear is, but they might, is it like skateboarding wear? Is it hip hop? Is it a combination? How do you
I think it's a
describe it?
combination. It's so funny because, streetwear used to just be like really grunge, but it's changed so much to the point where in Fashion Week you have Tommy Hilfiger incorporating streetwear now and Polo incorporating streetwear into their fashion. So it's definitely changed. It's not what you were
Absolutely.
used to back then. It's definitely changed.
The term streetwear now indicates lifestyle.
Yeah, lifestyle. That is correct.
And so when you see it on these very big name designers, like sometimes people will say, well, it's over then. Like what is your take on it? Like is it still trendy at that point once you see like the more established designers with it, or is it rather passé?
Well, streetwear is not really passé because you always can mix and match. You can take a daytime look and nighttime it, with a heel or a pump. Those are accessories. We
Okay.
don't sell women's shoes per se, but, jackets and outerwear and belts and bangles and, rings, things like that. Those little pieces that can just add to your outfitting and just take it over the top is really that's what streetwear is all about. That's what it is. It's no longer urban and relaxed. Do you understand what I'm saying?
And as long as you have major cities like Dallas and Miami, New York, LA, there's always going to be streetwear.
Yep.
As long as those cities are around, and I don't think they're going anywhere, they're always going to have streetwear.
Okay. We have about a minute and a half left. This went by very fast.
Yeah.
Is there something you, first of all, I don't think I got your Twitter handle. I think I got Pinterest and Instagram.
Everything is at Sneakah Boutique.
Sneakah Boutique.
Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram.
Yeah.
Perfect. And what would you like to leave us with? Each of you.
I guess we all normally like to always project something positive, to anyone that we talk to. I guess something that we consider a leave behind. So I guess for me, it would definitely be to commit to the process. If this is something that you want to do, if you want to take your dreams to an elevated level, definitely do your homework and commit to the journey.
Awesome. Thank you. How about you, Ernest?
And I would say take risk. Without risk, no reward. The greatest failure in life is never trying at all.
Okay. Excellent. I agree. And Nailah, you?
I would say keep going regardless of where you've been. Don't let anybody detour you from following your dreams, and just keep going, and definitely do your research.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank you.
so
Thanks for
much.
having
'Cause
us.
I've enjoyed talking to you.
Likewise,
We've enjoyed
yeah.
it. It's been very cool.
You all even finish each other's sentences. I love it.
Yeah. Like we're that in sync now.
That's what the midnight oil will do.
Well, this is Dustin's Kaleidoscope. I'm Dustin, and we will see you next time. Bye.